All right. Yeah, so I set the world record last night, and it was like there was no commentary or anything. It was just me playing the game and like with splits open, and it was an offline. Game audio is quiet. Aha. Hopefully that fixes it. Yes, please tell me if everything goes well. But yeah, so it was an offline world record / PB. So I decided to do some post commentary today and reveal the time at the end. But as of now, there's not really much to say because it's just like the first 5 minutes is like of the intro is like the same every single time. I feel like such a weirdo because I'm eating banana on screen, but I was hungry. So is the game audio all right now? Hopefully it is. All right, good. Yeah, so the intro's a little bit boring, but it kind of sucks because I still have to like perform in the game. Like during the Bowser fight and the other like 3 intro fights that you have in the first like 10 minutes, you really only have the jump command to attack the enemies, and you can get what I call slow attacks, where if you mistime it, you lose like a second every attack you do if you mistime it. So I really have to focus and make sure my fingers are timing everything correctly. And a lot of the times what would happen is I would actually press the buttons too fast, where I would press it too earlier than the frame window would allow to attack. So like you just gotta get it's so like a lot of the time I would have to like tell myself mash slower or whatever, but in reality it's not too slow at all to like just slow everything down. That ends up being faster. Oh no! I dropped my banana. Damn. It's okay, there's still a little piece left inside the peel. I have so many cables around this desk because this desk is this like area that I play on is so small. Come on. There we go. No, everything's getting stuck. Dude, rip. That banana had hopes and dreams. Then I just dropped him on the floor like an animal. But yeah, something interesting about the beginning is that you gain all the abilities to like press the pause menu and look at your stats and everything. And if you actually skip the triggers, you actually won't be able to pause at all during the run.
Oh no! Oh yeah!
Like later on in this run, we actually skip a tutorial, but like the trigger for that tutorial stays there the whole game. But luckily the tutorial doesn't unlock anything new. Like we already have the ability to do the new moves that it tries to teach us, so we can skip it. But normally there's another part of the game where if you skip it, you just won't. Like you can technically skip the badge tutorial, but it's not really viable RTA. But the trigger stays there forever, so you would technically not be able to equip badges until later on in the game when you like buy one straight from the shop. Yeah, this is one of the second of 4 battles where I have to focus and like make sure my my attacks are correct timing. Yeah, so after this battle, Mario gains a level up. And the way level ups work is you get a little roulette wheel after every level up to get an extra bonus. And in the speedrun, we only give Mario power. Luigi's usually power, but there's times where it varies. Like later on in the run, I will give Luigi stash. But for Mario, it's just all power. The beginning of the game is really... It's kind of an RNG fest. Not really, there's really only 2 points. I'd say it's probably like 60% that you get optimal power, but 40% of the time you might be like 1 power short, so you would either lose like a minute or you would end up resetting. But in order to get optimal power, you need to roll at least a 2 on the roulette wheel, or excuse me, a 2 and a 3 on the roulette wheel, or 3 2s. You have 4 level ups to do it, so it's not too bad. Hide in my seat again. I hide it, so now I gotta... Dude, is the optimal strat to lower the seat? Who knows? Dude, that's the strats. But, yeah, this is like the fourth, like, scripted battle, the final scripted battle. Poeple actually doesn't have any HP, you just have to hit every single item command, or action command, in order to get his fast fight. If you miss an action command, you actually just have to take an extra turn. I haven't done it yet, but I would probably just reset over that, like, because my time is optimal enough where it's like 5 seconds in the first 10 minutes of basically doing nothing kind of sucks to lose already. Yeah, one thing about this run is I make a few mistakes, but overall the beginning is pretty close to perfect, where it's definitely my fastest beginning ever. Like, everything up to Super Hammer was really, really good. So now's the time I can basically start actually playing the game, and like things like start to be different. But first we got another like little mini game. There's a tutorial there that if you miss your menuing, then you actually just lose 2 minutes. So you have to be like a little bit careful. But anyway, in this mini game, I actually get hit with Mario and Luigi twice each, because each one, or at the end of the mini game, you get like a little score, and you want to get the lowest score possible because it's actually a little bit faster. Like 500 there, you only get 2 fireworks, but you can get, I think 5,000. I think it's 5,000, and you'll get like 5 fireworks. So you save a little bit of time there just from doing that. Yeah, get this warp pipe for later. It's only used for one thing in the very end of the run. And then now it's kind of where like it becomes obvious that the item route and your coin collection in the run becomes super serious. Like, it's pretty optimized the way I do it already. Where like if I miss one, like not only can I not miss an item, really, but I also have to like get decent luck and get some item drops from enemies that I encounter. Yeah, but so basically the whole like quest of this little area is to collect 100 coins so we can get to the next area. And the item route for this area actually collects 101 coins, and it might not look like it, but the timing for each block is pretty tough. If you just mash the A button, you'll only get 5 or 6 coins, and you need to get 10 out of every one of them. So usually beginner runners a lot of the time fail this quest, and it's not terrible. You just have to spend time later on in the run collecting extra coins. But here we unlock, it's another tutorial. We unlock high jump and spin jump, and that increases our mobility throughout the overworld. And it gives us 2 new moves that we can use in battle called the Bros moves, which are basically the main way that we use to deal damage. So just another little tutorial. A lot of the tutorials, they actually, you have to choose the no option so you don't accidentally choose to do the tutorial again. So the way I do it is I alternate mashing through A and B. And if I'm careful enough when doing that, it will never click on yes, and I'll always skip the extra tutorial. Yeah, but here's the first glitch in the game. Before this glitch is really interesting. We basically just use spin jump and land Mario outside of the loading zone, and then we can skip right there. That actually saves like 10 to 15 seconds depending on how fast everything is. And we basically skip a whole extra little tutorial on how to use spin jump. So it's the first glitch that's ever been in the beginning. Like before, in the previous world record, you would basically go through the first 4 splits all glitchless. But now there's actually 2 glitches that together they save about 1:20. So that's really cool that those new glitches are basically what helped me to lower the time down. Before it was pretty close to impossible to getting a better time than... I guess I should have mentioned the previous world record was a 1:16:15 by me. But yeah, with the help of the 2 new glitches, I was able to get a faster time. Yeah. Oh, I should have mentioned before, but I took an extra fight earlier in the previous area. And that's where I start using Splash Bros, which is Mario's Bros attack. They're gonna give a tutorial on it right now. But the reason Splash Bros is super important is not just how much damage it deals, but there's an in-game counter for when you use Bros attacks, and when a counter reaches a certain value, then you unlock advanced commands, which are basically... they're the same moves, but have like different forms and effect. Like Splash Bros advanced command, it actually does 75% damage compared to normal Splash Bros, but after that minus 25% damage decrease, it doubles that damage against spiny enemies. So you could actually jump on enemies with spikes on their head. And we actually need that for the 3rd boss fight. Or I guess technically 4th, because there's a mini boss. But we need that for the Queen Bean boss fight, so... ever since we got it, we mapped out like an attack route for each of the encounters you get in order to get it in a fast manner. So right here, it's another Splash Bros. Yeah, and Luigi's Bros attack, which is bounce. Ooh, voice crack. Bounce Bros. It there's not a real need for it to get the advanced command, but we really want to refrain from getting the action command or the advanced command, because advanced commands, when you unlock them, it's like a 10-second cutscene, and if Luigi unlocks it, it's just 10 seconds because we never use it. Alright, so Mario got a 2 and a 3 on this level up, so now his power is... basically, I don't have to worry about power anymore, because no matter what, his power is going to be good. Yeah, so heal up right now. Right before the boss fight. In this boss fight, we just alternate using Splash and Bounce Bros, and then heal Mario when he's out of BP. Heal Mario right there. Yeah, the item route is actually pretty important in the beginning as well. Like, if you don't do the items in the battles correctly, you won't have a syrup for this battle, and you'll basically just have to reset, because you can still beat her and beat the boss. It would just take a lot more time, but also you wouldn't have enough Splash Bros on your counter to unlock Advanced Command at the right time. Yeah, and during every of Tolstar's attacks, I actually am just mashing A, because it's actually RNG whether he does an extra little text box before each attack, and I have to mash through the text box. Yeah, so that was basically the beginning, the first real segment. A lot of the times I would have to reset on the first level up. If I get a 1, it's basically a reset for my time right now, but getting through here, swag jump by the way, getting through here is, with a 2 and a 3 is really good. Yeah, continuing to collect all the items. Yeah, so the next area, or next like dungeon area, is Hoo Mountain, and to unlock it, I have to get up on the area above me right now, but there's actually a broken bridge, and I come here to get this cutscene, and you would think this cutscene is what unlocks the area, but it's really weird. You have to go through 2 cutscenes and basically talk to what seems like a random NPC to unlock the bridge. Yeah, so Poeple actually blocks our path, and we need hammers to get past, so the Hoo Mountain dungeon is basically all about trying to unlock the hammer. But you have to talk to this little bean guy on the bottom. It's like random. Like, you wouldn't know to talk to that guy in like a casual playthrough of this game, which is really weird. Like, I feel like many people that play this, they just end up not knowing what to do and just start talking to everybody they see. The bean on top left can sometimes be annoying. If he hits you, it's basically reset for me. But there's only one more encounter that voice crack again, that I want to get into. And it's in this area right here. Yeah, this is like the final fight to have really good power. After this fight, if you don't have 24 power, you can lose either 5 seconds, 10 seconds, or like a minute. Yeah, 24 power right here is an optimal power. 25 is fine too. Like, I get 25 here. But if I get 26, I actually end up losing time, so I have to be careful. And like, if I see that I'm having too high power, try and get a 1. But upcoming here's the new glitch that saves a minute. There we go. That was really good. It's called a tunnel clip. That specific tunnel clip was found by SolidifiedGaming like a week or 2 ago. And that clip right there ends up saving over a minute if you do it really fast. Yeah, there's a whole left area that you would have to go through, and that's where normally we would get the encounter, but the new clip has us change to getting the dry bones encounter in that room. But this minigame is actually a bit of RNG. Average, I would say, is about like 9 seconds, but if you get really good luck, you can finish this this minigame with like 12 seconds remaining. I got a pretty bad minigame though. Yeah, there's a little bit of thought put into this fight right here. You have to make sure you do a correct pattern so that you can attack with Mario against the boss fight, and then destroy the pillars with Luigi's turn. If you don't do everything correctly, then you'll have to waste some time destroying both pillars again to bring the boss out of hiding. Messed up a little menuing right there. Need to heal Mario. Yep. And so if you have 24 power, you actually kill this guy in 4 hits. He has 45 HP. If you have less, then you would have to attack with Luigi. Either just being a normal jump or like a splash bros or bounce bros, depending on how low your power is. But the reason I need that power is so important is after that boss fight, 27 power is the minimum power that you need in order to not lose any time. If you have any less, then you're basically losing at least a minute on the next 2 boss fights combined. So there's basically not much left of this area, just need to get to the top of the mountain to fight the boss. There's no more enemies that I want to encounter or anything for the rest of the game, so it's basically just get to the next area while collecting some items along the way. And here's the next boss fight cutscene. Yeah, so I want to kill this boss in 4 turns, ending on Mario's 4th attack. So based on your power, you would do different strategies with Luigi. Like here, I'm gonna do 4 Splash Bros, and then with Luigi, 2 jumps and 1 Bounce Bros. When I have 18 power, I usually do Bounce Bros on the final turn because I'm trying to hope I get a lucky hit, and then I will just have to jump again. Yeah, had I kept better track of my power, I would have untimed that Bounce Bros attack from Luigi. To save a little bit of time. Yeah, the reason we want to unlock Advanced Command right there is because it happens during the death of the boss, which saves some time. Start giving Luigi stash because his power is not really important anymore. And that was a really good time. At this point, I still don't know how I got the 943 in my best segment, but like everything must have been super perfect. Because I've gotten close to it, but I've never gotten like a 940 something again. So once I figure that out, I'll have more like consistent good times like this. But yeah, as you can see on the bottom right, I am over a minute and a half ahead of world record now. Yeah, so now we can get hammers and move on to the next area. I've theorized about being able to skip hammers, and there's really nothing that's really possible to anyone's like knowledge of how you would even start, like to go about it. Like I thought I got really close because you can actually, like with trying to like clip out of a rock that's a little earlier in the area, but there's still nothing that can really get you there. But even if hammer skip were to be found, you would need a way to skip the sewers, or you would need a way to get super hammers a lot earlier. Yeah, because without hammer, you actually can't get through a bunch of places. You need to break some rocks, and then in the sewers, you would need to like destroy some pipes. But get some items over here. Now I thought that my item count was a lot better than it was actually. Normally you go into all the way to the right and get 2 mushrooms and 2 syrups, but I ended up only getting 1 of each. But that's not too bad. I think I lose like 5 seconds later because I have to pick up an extra mushroom. But other than that, nothing really happens. And this is a minecart game, which is basically just a minigame auto-scroller, so I'm gonna go grab like a drink or something. I'm back. I said I was getting something to drink, but I was hungry. Ah. There's more social eating than speedrunning. Let's see, while I was gone, I think the only thing that happened is there was the hammer tutorials. Yeah, if you don't get that hammer tutorial, you actually can't use hammers in battle, and you need it, so it's like impossible to skip. But here we start the sewer section. This is like the first area where enemies are kind of hard to avoid, so you have to like take your time and like watch out for their movement. Like the enemies here have like pretty random and really fast movement, like burst movement, so you had to make up. Oh hey, Sork, thanks for the host. Yeah, the flies are the enemies that are really hard to avoid. And in like 2 areas, the flies are actually guarding the doors. Alright, that was a little bit risky. Dude, pog champs. Yeah, that earlier fly is also hard as well. Interesting thing is that if you hammer this cork on the right, it actually saves time because the camera doesn't have to scroll as far to see you again. Hopefully you caught what I was saying. So this guy's pretty hard. You have to bait him out in order to get these 2 items. And if he like doesn't comply, like if you bait him but he doesn't follow you the whole way through, it's actually impossible to get the items in the end. But this was a really good segment. I didn't really spend more than like 3 seconds waiting on enemies. Yeah, there's some cases where if you get an encounter, it actually can end up being faster. But that depends on Mario and Luigi's combined power. And yeah, it would affect the Poeple and Rookie fight later on. But that's like such an extreme case. It's so rare that happens. But it ends up being like 10 seconds faster if everything works out. But this is the fight where I needed the advanced command for. I needed to get it before this fight because Queen Bean actually counts as a spiked enemy. Like I was explaining how the advanced command worked earlier. But if you don't have the advanced command, you only do 1 damage with Mario. Or you can you would have to break both of her arms. Or you would have to deflate both of her arms and then attack the head without the crown on top. But that wastes over a minute. So advanced command's the way to go. She has 120 HP. Her HP is also the reason that Mario needs to have 27 power at this point. If you have 27 power, then you do exactly 30 damage with Mario, so you can kill her in 4 turns. Anything less, you would have to heal with Luigi and then attack an extra time with Mario. Man, I love food. So here, this is the badge tutorial. And if you can technically skip this trigger, but it's really hard to do, and like a human wouldn't do it too fast. So you just get this, and besides an RTA, you actually need this badge. Like, I'm sure using task strats you can figure out, like, you can manipulate getting like a 3 in power every single time. Notch that enemy right there. Get this pipe for later use, just like pipe number 1. This one's pipe number 4. That's like our main overworld pipe that we come back to. And so this is where like my dream up for this category comes in. If there was a way to clip past these guys, it would save like 10 minutes almost in the run, but as of now it's not possible for us. You know, I'm glad I scheduled me commentating this run yesterday, and then asking them again today, and then asking them again 10 minutes, and they still bother me. Anyways. So the way Poeple and Rookie fights go is that you just need to kill Rookie, and then Poeple will just end up running away. Like, he'll attack one last time once Rookie is dead, and then run away. So a really interesting strat that I try to do every time, there's 2 times you can do this in the run, is to have Luigi die at the end. Because at this point, Luigi doesn't need any more level ups throughout the game. All of his level ups are just eating up time, because his stats don't matter at all. Like, once he's level 6, he's fine. So what I do is, at the end, if Poeple attacks Luigi at the end, I just let him get hit. Later on the run in the Poeple and Rookie fight, Poeple is strong enough to one-hit kill Luigi, but in this one you have to get hit by Bowser. Or excuse me, Rookie. because Poeple does 9 damage, so getting hit by one of the fires is like perfect for it. And I think in this run I don't get it. Yeah, I don't get it. It's 50-50, so, but this one's only like 10 seconds. Yeah, I know, I call that dude Bowser, but it's not even Bowser. Yeah, so that was a pretty good segment. Yeah, there's one other fight, the Poeple Umberto fight, where I can try and do the strat again and kill Luigi at the very end. But this is the final tutorial of the game, which is nice. They teach us how to use Bros hammers. And once we get this, we can unlock a whole bunch of glitches, which make this run super interesting, especially from a spectator point of view. So just go through this little tutorial. We get Luigi Mole and I believe Mouse Mario. I think those are their official names, so we just call them Luigi Hat and Mini Mario. Switch my action commands to save like 2 seconds later on. Yeah, what's interesting is that for this tutorial, it's like similar to the one in during the Toll Star segment. And like once you're done with the tutorial, they have you do a little obstacle. But you actually don't need this obstacle, but unfortunately you can't skip this one. Like the method I used during the Toll Star segment was to like spin jump out of here. But the trigger is too large in this room right there on the bottom. So that sucks. That would have saved like 20 seconds, but it's impossible. I think it's even impossible in tasks, so. Yeah, now we get to the glitches, the real glitches of this game. The tunnel clip was pretty cool, saved a minute, but these glitches basically end up saving a few hours. Just pick up some more items on the way. And when I start glitching out the game, I'll just let people watch and then I'll end up explaining it while we're heading to the next area. Nothing to see, everything intended. There we go. So, that was basically the big glitch of that was called action command glitch. And basically there's a one frame like input that you can make to when you're breaking the barrel, and if you hop back on barrel within 1 frame, you end up clearing your action command, and using the sign we can basically cycle through every single action command we want. So we can do a lot of things, like we can change our action commands to anything in the game, and we can actually use them, which is very nice. Or sometimes we can like alter our height values and stuff like that in order to like clip over some walls and stuff. But the first thing that we do with the new glitches is we want to go get super hammers. Here's an instance of where I changed my action command. I changed Luigi's to Thunder Hand, which we don't have yet. Yeah, so this was a really good beginning. There's really no mistakes that were made in the beginning. So that's the one thing that really stands out for this run. Like the previous world record, the big thing about it that was amazing was the final Cackletta fight. But this one, I mean, a 51 super hammers. That's the first and only 51 that's ever happened. Like I would have been happy to being like 20 seconds behind this. Like that's how good this time is right now. But now that we have super hammers, we can head to not the next area of the game, but it's the next area we want to go to. Yeah, go back to pipe number 4. And we're gonna backtrack basically to the mountain area where we got the hammer tutorial. Yeah, enemies have been nice to me so far. I have to wait for this guy because it's like a 50-50 if he moved left or right, and if I just chose wrong, then I would have gotten to encounter. But here's rock skip. So going through action command glitch, I basically do a whole bunch of stuff and alter the height of Mario and Luigi, so I can just jump over these rocks. You can't really see anything that's going on, but I'm basically just cycling through action commands, finding whichever ones I want. Yep, and then suddenly I'm on this side. Pick up this one up. And be careful right here, if I hit one of those springs, it soft locks the game. Yeah, but so we have super hammers, so we can actually break these gray blocks now, these gray stones. But super hammer isn't actually needed. You can skip it, and it would save like 2 minutes if you do everything correctly, like almost 2 minutes. But we actually need super hammers basically once the entire run. But here's another action command glitch, and instead of altering height, I'm gonna be altering like our movement. We're gonna be getting like super glitchy movements. Like this is called flying hat skip, and you'll see why. Get into the position and just zip across the screen. So all that's left to do is to summon Luigi out of the ground. And boom, we're in Funky Town now. And hey, Peach is here. No matter where you enter from, you could enter from a pipe, like you can glitch your way through like a few different areas to get into Funky Town. But every time you enter for the first time, Peach always is with you. And I just noticed I'm over 2 minutes ahead of the world record, which is crazy. Yeah. So we came to Funky Town for the Mush Badge. Basically, we get the Mush Badge and then we're able to destroy everything. The way the Mush Badge works is it increases your damage output based on how many mushrooms you get. So we went on all those item collectathons in order to buy a bunch of mushrooms. If I was a little more careful, I would have ended up with 46 mushrooms, but I have 45, which is still fine. But ideally, I would want 46 mushrooms at least. Yep, so upcoming here is the one rock that we basically need super hammers for. I don't know why I switched there, but there's really no fast way to get past that rock without a super hammer. Task can do it pretty decently, but it's not really viable for RTA. No, yeah, you can do super hammer skip. It's just a little bit slower for humans as of right now. But here's another rock skip. This time we're clipping vertically instead of horizontally. Now we're just out of the area. Dude, Alto Biscuit, thanks for the good luck. Yeah, so here's another flying hat skip. Yeah, I think this one I have a little bit of trouble on. This was like the first time in a while that I had a little bit of trouble on, which is surprising because I'm really bad at this. I've just been getting a little lucky. But you want to do like a stuttered jump right here in order to get. You only have like a few pixels to work with, so it was really hard for me to get in the right position. I failed like a couple times. Alright, that's the right position. Yeah. So clip over that wall right there, and then we summon Luigi out of the ground again. This time we summon him with Barrel, because we'll be using Barrel in the next few glitches. One thing I do right here is I switch Mario and Luigi, because if Mario's in front, you can actually just jump with Luigi. And this area is really scary. This is probably my least favorite room in the game. If those enemies hit you, it's basically run over, because they'll kill you in one hit. I messed that up right there. There we go. So this segment hasn't been super great, but it's been alright. Like, I've probably lost like 15 seconds due to like messing up a couple of the skips for getting like second or third try. But we skip to this run, or to this room right here, to fight Poeple Umberto. The reason for it is Poeple Umberto actually, they're the final boss before the final area of the game, which is Bowser's Castle. So we want to beat these guys as soon as possible in order to get access to Bowser's Castle. And this is the first fight where you see how overpowered the Mush Badge is. There we go. So now I'm doing, normally you would do 1 damage every turn, especially this low level, but now Mario's doing 10 damage per hit, and on a multi-hit move like Chopper Bros, it's really, there's a lot of damage output right there. And my fingers weren't moving that fast, but they wake up like right here for the rest of the run. Like, this run in particular has probably been the best I've ever mashed during the end for like quite a while. Like, I was surprised everything was going so well. I love hearing the sound of each and every hit. So here's where the run stops being perfect. That's 50-50 right there, whether Poeple kills Mario or Luigi. Unfortunately, he attacked Mario, so I have to sit through 40 seconds of Luigi leveling up. If he attacked Luigi, then this would be the God Run, and would be pretty close to unbeatable. But, rip. Yeah, like, see, I'm already losing time because it wasn't the best segment. But on top of this, I'm gonna lose 40 more seconds because Luigi sucks. Yeah. Mario's power is good enough, so I just give it a BP. And Luigi, his stats don't matter at all. So I just end up giving him BP, which saves me like 1 turn on the final boss fight, because I won't have to heal him. So, rip our 2.5 minute lead. Lost like a minute right there. But this has still been like a really good run so far. Like the only terrible thing that's happened is I've missed the 50-50. But basically, all that's left to do is collect a couple of items and then go to Bowser's Castle and fight the final boss. So we have spin jump on Luigi, and that's used just right here. Make sure to dodge that guy. And we spin jump over here. And now we're gonna do a barrel clip. This is like the English version of barrel clip. But in the Japanese version, you can, if you have barrel clipping, it basically means there's no walls, you can go anywhere you want. The current world record is a 1:16:15 by me, and right now I'm like a minute and a half ahead of the 1:16. Pretty intriguing. Like, what's the final time gonna be? So I come back to Fungi Town, and if you thought the Mush Badge was OP, I'm getting the Mush Badge AA, which is basically the Mush Badge, except it gives me 40 more power. So, pretty hot. So, to trigger the Bowser's Castle entry, we need to go back to the Bean Bean Castle. Just as we left it, everything's getting wrecked. Dude, maybe I tricked everybody. What if this wasn't the world record run and we just happen to have like a super good pace and it just dies at Kakaletta? Yeah. The reason I have the world record timing in the bottom right is because this is a different route. This is my PB with the new route. Oh my god. Spliced. What am I gonna do? I don't support splicing, please. Yeah, so my mushroom count's actually 1 too low, so I have to get this one. It's not too bad, like 5 seconds maybe. Oh no. Okay, if I were gonna splice, I would have spliced the perfect swag jump. It would have been sick. There we go. So now we're off to Bowser Castle. Pick up one more mushroom, and here's our last glitch of the game, or overworld glitch. This actually wasn't the greatest barrel clip. I was like mashing too fast and yeah, I mashed way too much, but still even. I've never lost a world record run. I've lost a couple runs. Yeah, I've lost a couple runs to this boss fight, but I've never lost anything good, so I'm really lucky about that. Dude, oh my gosh, I love my fingers. My fingers are dope. Oh, I think I've lost run once to castle skip where I wasn't close enough. Dude, oh, it sounds so good. I love it so much. I got a little unlucky though. He healed a little too much. And I think my last attack wasn't that great. I don't remember. Let me see. Yeah, that one wasn't that great. If I was really good, I would be able to kill him in 3 turns. Yeah, the knockback's needed. At least to guarantee a 3-turn kill on those times where it's like close, whether or not you'll get it, knockback is pretty much needed for the Bowletta fight. But that one was all right. It was 3 turns and then a Star Storm, which I think I lost about 40 seconds or like 30 seconds. So like it's just a slow fight because it's like RNG which moves she uses. But right away the fire. But basically Cacletta fight, if anything touches you, you die, and you want to avoid the spinny attacks. So like fire and her spinning arms attacks mostly. Her thunder attack is not too bad though. This one. What I've been getting really lucky with is that the head has actually been, instead of attacking, it's just been increasing her attack. So that saves like a couple seconds right there. And since Mario's BP is high enough, I can actually just chopper bros this. Okay. And so the way the fight works is actually we destroy all her body segments, and so we can attack the heart directly, and we want to mash enough, or we want to do enough damage to kill her in 4 attacks with each bro. So like here's round 1. Yeah, and based on my mashing speed, I can tell whether or not I should fully time knockback bros. Like right there, it was pretty perfect. That was pretty perfect mashing, so I mistimed it on purpose. But yeah, the reason this hold up, I want to hear it. Yeah, the reason this fight is so hard though, like besides all the hard attacks to avoid and everything, is that you actually have to do some pretty tough HP manipulation. So Cacletta's heart has 1200 HP, and she has 4 phases, 4 health phases, where she does different attacks every single time. and they're divided into 300 HP each, so we want to avoid being over 900 damage, which is really hard because if you have to average like 300 damage on each round you do, and then just like mash your heart out on the final one and hope it kills. Like if you end up getting into the last phase on the last turn, she does a really hard to avoid attack, and I've actually completely dodged it a couple times, but it still wastes like 30 seconds, which sucks. And unfortunately, I didn't unmute my mic during this, because I normally, if I do an offline run, I unmute mic for the Cacletta fight so I can see my reaction. But I forgot. I was too focused that I couldn't like move. And nice, we avoided it, so that's really good. So now I just have to do 300 damage on the next round. No, the fire. I was thinking to myself, this fire ruined it for me. This last fire. If she just gave me arm attack, oh baby. Alright, so as soon as I saw that mashing, I knew it's over. I was screaming. I was so happy. I remember I was like jumping up and down. It was so hype. But yeah, I finished the fight, 55 seconds. Oh no, the problem with oh yeah, so look at that. I got a gold on Cacletta, but I still lost 40 seconds compared to the old world record. The old world record had a perfect Bowletta fight, which saved 40 seconds. And then like a close to perfect Bowletta or Cacletta fight. It was so good, like I have never been able to match it, like to this date. But like I think my time was like a 6:40 something for that segment, which is like still really good, but it was really hard to match this. My best segment overall is like a 6:05. So yeah, I was hype. I was being a god. Oh wait, did I explain everything? I'll explain it after, once I see the time. And one final gold for the road. Let's go. 115.18. Dude, sponsor me, Geico. Save 115 or more. 115 or more, dude. But yeah, first 115. It was like a really good run. I unfortunately lost the 50-50, but besides that, it was really good. So anyways, I think my ends goal for this category would be a 114. Like what kind of 114 kind of depends on how much I want to grind for luck. I think 114.50, like sub 114.50 wouldn't be too hard, but any 114 I'd be really happy with, I think. Like, in order to get a 114, like, you need to play at a certain caliber which I would be really happy with for a run. So, dude, you could blame Luigi for the 114, but I did lose. I lost 20 seconds on my own because of mistakes on that same segment, minus Luigi. So, you could also blame me, I guess. But yeah, 114 incoming. I'm gonna take a break because I'm gonna be like moving in and starting school. I'm still gonna like speedrun, but probably not this category for like 2 weeks maybe. But that was a really good run, and like I explained most of the basics and stuff. I know someone was like in the Discord asking for like better resources, so this will be a good like tutorial video, I guess, just to show off the route and everything for all those new runners that want to get into it and they're not like super prepared yet. Oh yeah, I was thinking of one thing. Oh yeah. I'm not gonna sneeze. I'm not gonna sneeze. I said it. I jinxed it. But Soric asked, would it be worth using knockback on the firearm instead of attacking the heart with Luigi? Yeah. You actually, no, you cannot do that. You can't do that because every turn Cacletta Heart restores the arms, so they would attack anyways. But yeah, 115, new world record after, I think it's been almost 2 years. Not quite, but it's been over a year for sure. Sweet.